All right, today we are breaking down a super powerful and, honestly, refreshingly simple way to get those visible, blocky abs you've probably been chasing for a while.
So let's just get right to it. I've got to ask, are you still spending hours doing hundreds, maybe thousands of crunches and sit-ups and not seeing a thing? You're not alone. But what if I told you that whole approach is, well, it's just not the way?
And here's the kicker, the big secret that isn't really a secret. You already have abs. Yeah, you do. Every single one of us does. The problem isn't that you need to create them from scratch. The problem is that you just can't see them yet.
Which brings us to the very first and maybe the most important rule. You have to uncover what's already there. Before we even talk about a single exercise, we have to solve this visibility problem.
This says it all, doesn't it? The number one reason your abs are hiding in plain sight is because they're covered by a layer of body fat. And let me be clear, no amount of crunches in the world can spot reduce fat from your stomach. It just doesn't work that way.
So, the real solution starts in the kitchen. If you want to see your abs, you have to be in a calorie deficit. Our source material calls it losing the belly button, which is a great way to think about it. It just means cutting back on the high-calorie stuff and making smarter food choices.
Okay, so once you start getting your diet in check to handle that layer of fat, now we get to talk about training. This is the second piece of the puzzle, and it's all about making your ab muscles thick and blocky so they actually pop right out.
And you really got to get this part. Doing endless high-rep ab workouts is basically just cardio for your core. It's not bad, but it's not going to build any real size. If you want that deep, defined, blocky look, you have to treat your abs just like any other muscle, like your chest or your arms. And that means training them with heavy, challenging resistance.
So what does that heavy training actually look like? Well, you're gonna love this part. It's ridiculously simple. You could forget about those crazy complicated 20 exercise routines. You only need 2. That's it.
And here is the entire plan. You've got cable crunches to hammer the upper abs and leg raises to target the lower abs. Now pay attention to that rep range, 10 to 15. That's the sweet spot. It ensures the weight you're using is actually heavy enough to be a challenge. And do not skip that 2-minute rest. You need that recovery time to go hard on every single set.
Now the great thing is, anyone can do this. Don't have a cable machine at your gym? No problem at all. Just grab a dumbbell or a weight plate. Hold it to your chest and do weighted crunches. Same effect. And if you're trying straight leg raises and they feel impossible, just bend your knees. Start with knee raises. The principle is exactly the same. Challenge the muscle.
So, we've got the diet and we've got the workout, but there's one final, absolutely crucial ingredient. This is the secret sauce that makes sure you keep making progress and don't just hit a wall after a few weeks.
And that secret is progressive overload. It sounds like a complicated sciencey term, but it's really, really simple. You just have to find ways to make your workouts a little bit harder over time. Your muscles will not grow unless you give them a reason to. You have to force them to adapt by giving them a bigger challenge.
So, how do you actually do it? Easy. Just follow these simple rules. For your cable crunches, if you get to a point where you can do more than 15 reps, that's your cue. It's time to add a little more weight. For the leg raises, since you're just using your body weight, once you can do more than 15, your goal for the next workout is 16. That's how you make sure you're always getting stronger.
So let's just boil it all down. The entire philosophy is this simple 2-part formula. First, you lose the body fat through your diet. Second, you build the ab muscle with heavy, progressive training. You do both of those things consistently, and the results, well, they're pretty much inevitable.
And that's the goal, right? To get to a point where the results speak for themselves. So the question isn't whether this works, it's what your next step is going to be. Are you going to start in the kitchen to uncover those abs, or are you hitting the gym to start building them? The path is clear. The choice is yours.